from Studio 43 of the CBC building. It is George Stroumboulopoulos Tonight for the late edition. Shall we? What's going on, everybody? Come on in. Nice to see you. Welcome to the program. Woo! I'm your boyfriend, George Stroumboulopoulos. A little bit sexy, a little bit weird. Totally the crying game of that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you. I'm your boyfriend, George. Amy Tan is in the red chair tonight. That is exciting. Because, look, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound earnest, and I used to be really afraid of sounding earnest, but then I realized that earnest is better than sounding like you don't care, and I'd much rather care about what happens in this world and with each other than being earnest or being perceived as earnest. I'll explore it. I love the idea of diving into people and the way they are and the way they think and the way we all kind of connect to each other. I love philosophy. I love the idea of trying to bring philosophy into a talk show. What makes us who we are, how we choose to organize our societies. Even concepts like the social contract, which is the philosophical theory that we have surrendered some of our personal freedoms to the state, some, although nowadays all, but some, in exchange for other things like security. Of course, much of that is based on the work of the English philosopher Thomas Hobbes, not the cartoon cat, but Thomas Hobbes, who died today in 1679. And I think we all remember where we were when we got the news. Too soon? 1679? Too soon? All right, so that can bring you down, but that philosophy is important. There are other things in life that are also worth mentioning. I came across a story today that really makes me happy. I don't know how to do this, so parental advisor. There's a website called Condomania. It's not about how big the condominiums are in your neighborhood, but it is about size. Condomania took a look at what sort of prophylactics men were buying in parts of America, and then would determine how big their manhood would be. And I just need to say, the top three are very impressive. Can I go with number 3? Oh, hello, South Dakota. But look at their slogan. Great faces, great places. You never want to finish second. Who finished second? Rhode Island. But check out the slogan. Unwind the ocean state? What? Big enough to unwind? I think a big round of applause for North Dakota. And before I give you the slogan, this is 100% true. North Dakota, based on the condoms they buy, men with the biggest penises in America. And the slogan is legendary. That is... Now, there's no way to actually quantify if the condoms they buy are the condoms that fit. It could also mean that North Dakota is just the place that has the hottest girls who work the cash register. And you're like, I'll take no, those ones. I'll take those ones. Unbelievable. There's no real definitive survey on what it's like in Canada, but I will say this about Ontario. It is called Yours to Discover. Let's deal with the day, shall we? Okay. There's a lot of things I want to cover in tonight's debrief, so we'll get right to it. If you'll indulge me for 1 second, we were speaking about manhoods before, or personhoods. Bad sex in fiction. It's prevalent, too prevalent, but it's so prevalent there's an award for it. And the Bad Sex in Fiction Award was announced for 2013. And the winner, how about a round of applause for Manil Suri? Manil Suri has this novel called The City of Devi, or Devi. Are you ready for some magic? Can I read you a part of it? Let's dim the lights. Who wants to get a volunteer? Miss, do you mind coming up? Thank you. I'm going to read this to you. Keep in mind it's bad sex fiction, so are you okay with that?
I'm good with that.
I'm George.
Jojo, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Jojo. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Tell me if this qualifies as bad sex fiction. May I hold your hand while I do this?
Yes.
You ready, Canada? This is actual fiction, wow. Surely supernovas explode that instant somewhere in some galaxy. The hut vanishes, and with it the sea and the sands. Only Karun's body, locked with mine, remains. We streak like superheroes past suns and solar systems. We dive through shoals of quarks and atomic nuclei. In celebration of our breakthrough 4th star, statisticians the world over rejoice. Does that work?
Not for me.
Jojo, everybody, thank you so much. Wow. It's the moment you mention statisticians, I get all unbelievable. Oh my God. By the way, Ian Rankin on our program soon. Here's what he said about the difficulty in writing sex scenes.
I mean, writing violence is easy. You know, writing a scene where someone gets hit over the head with a hammer is easy. Writing a scene where people are getting intimate, no.
Best left
which is why we don't have an award for gratuitous violence, but we do have an award in fiction for bad sex, called the Bad Sex Award.
That is a terrible award to win, but congratulations nonetheless. A quick hello to the people who are watching us in the West. I'm going to be in Vancouver this weekend for Food Bank Day on Friday in Vancouver, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Calgary, though, the frozen lands, it's unbelievable. Some of the tweets on the internet machine have been fantastic. Look at this one right here. I think this one. Global News Calgary, knock, knock, who's there? You're buried alive. That's from Global Calgary. How about this one from CBC Calgary's Megan Grant? Here's what she tweets. This is why the highway was closed. Look at that. That looks like it's taken 3 kilometers away from the magnetic North Pole. That's bananas. But of course, in times of trial, not necessarily tribulation, but trial, I always go to the politician. How are they handling it? What is the steady hand of Naheed Nenshi, the mayor, doing? Here's what he tweeted. Here's what he tweeted. I love this. Other tips. Don't shovel into the street, especially black jacket guy who lives on Memorial. What's it like to have a mayor you're not embarrassed of? Like, what is... Speaking of his sideline worship, Mayor Rob Ford has been taking a lot of heat for this photo here. Him with the Hells Angels dude. It's a complete red herring. This is like when you're a mayor, you're essentially a mall Santa, okay? You're going to take pictures with anybody who wants to take a picture with you. Now, if that picture was... So I don't think it's a controversy. But if that picture was taken at a Hells Angels clubhouse, that would be an issue. I'm also not saying that there isn't a picture of Rob Ford at a Hells Angel clubhouse. I haven't seen it, but the chances are he doesn't remember taking it either. So it could be. Now, Rob Ford, his office finally responded to us about our request to have him on the show. And I'd like to read it for you, if I can, for just a second. Here's what Rob Ford said, his office. Thank you for submitting your request. At this time, the mayor is focusing on what the people of Toronto elected him to do, provide excellent customer service. What are you, consumers distributing? Plus, that's a joke for a certain demographic. Provide excellent customer service while continuing to look for ways to save the taxpayers' money. While the mayor will still be speaking to the press as time allows, it will be to respond to questions related to policy and matters of city business. Thank you, Dan Jacobs, Chief of Staff. That is a good email. I expect that. You want to not do press because you want to run the city? Totally cool. And then I see this on the internet today. Rob Ford is going to be on a sports show in Washington, D.C., talking football. Do you see what the show's called? Sports Junkies. Obviously not the first time those words have all appeared in the same sentence, my friends. We've been looking for an excuse to play this forever. Since today marks the end of Hanukkah, we present Rob Ford celebrating a different Jewish tradition.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'etz. Yehi ratzon milkanecha shetechadesh aleinu shana tova umetuka. May it be your will that this new year be a good and sweet year. You know, people complain about a lot of things in this world. I've never heard anybody complain, my life is too sweet, right? We also have pomegranate. The many seeds in the pomegranate symbolize the many mitzvahs or good deeds that we hope to perform in the coming year. All
right. Finally, some rapid-fire stuff that you need to know. On this day in 1980, Led Zeppelin disbanded. The real day the music died. On this day in 1993, Frank Zappa passed away. And on the day today, on day one of the $1 Million Quartet, Sun Records Studios, Memphis, Tennessee, today, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and some guy called Johnny Cash recorded their impromptu jam session today in 1956. I stood at that very microphone that the king of rock and roll stood at. An amazing experience. You can follow that, by the way, on Twitter. And I should say this, happy birthday to the Montreal Canadiens. Today in 1909, the Montreal Canadiens, founded as a charter member of the National Hockey Association.